Hari Om Namaste, friends. This week I would like to share with you the Metta mantra from Buddhism that is asking whatever merits I receive through the spiritual practices that I do, may I share those merits with others. The mantra translates to, may you be blessed, may I be blessed, may all be blessed. And this is a really beautiful mantra to chant after your practices, because really that's what it's all about. Gaining your own knowledge, gaining your physical, mental, spiritual knowledge. And what are you going to do once you have that? The whole point is to share it, because we're all in this together. And if you're unable to share it, anything that's not shared by default stagnates. If you have millions of dollars in the bank and it just stays there, it stagnates there. It's not flowing, it's not doing anything other than just staying there collecting dust. So the same thing with any spiritual knowledge. If it stays in you, it doesn't grow. The whole purpose of spiritual knowledge and spiritual practices is to share it, and then it starts to evolve on its own, because we're all connected on a subtle level. So when we're sharing, we're also sharing, and that knowledge that is igniting the light in someone else is also shining upon us, because light has that effect. It shines outward. It comes from the in and it shines outward. So that's the beautiful part of any kind of knowledge that we acquire. And it's beautiful to go through that process of spreading it, because just by doing this mantra, and when you're wishing that goodness that you have acquired onto others, you feel it almost immediately, or at least I do, coming back to me. And it always comes back stronger by the law of nature. Whatever goodness we put out, or negativity also, it comes back even stronger. Just the way things work. Maybe you've already noticed this in your life. So I just love this mantra. I've been chanting it at the end of all my classes lately, and it's also a mantra that they chant frequently in Vipassana, if you've ever been to a Vipassana meditation, which are amazing. If you haven't been to one, please try to go to one with Goenka. S.N. Goenka is a wonderful teacher of this technique, which they are free all over the world. So please try to go to one of those, and you're going to see what I mean, because these practices that are really intense, the practices that are the best, in my opinion, are the ones that you move through something. You have a transition. So that means, and even in the Bhagavad Gita it says, some things come as pain but leave as pleasure. So these intense practices that sometimes we pass through, doing difficult asanas or sitting for a long time, your knees feel like they're going to explode, but then you pass through that. The idea of the practice is to go through the difficult times, and then you taste the sweetness. Because when you just give up all the time in that difficult moment, you're never going to transcend. If we don't know what it's like, but I imagine it must be quite an ordeal for the caterpillar to go through that process of becoming the butterfly. And anyone who has gone through a spiritual journey will tell you that there is that darkness that everyone has to pass through. It's not a negative thing. It's just like Kali or something like that. We have to pass through certain periods of darkness for the light to shine again. And the beauty is, the light is always going to be stronger than the darkness. If you bring light into darkness, automatically the darkness converts into light. If you bring darkness into light, it still becomes light. So that's the beauty of whatever merits, beauty, knowledge I have acquired, I want to share it with you. Because just like in the Yoga Sutras it says, once you realize the self, the limits of the world disappear. But they are not gone forever until they disappear for everyone. So as long as people are still living in ignorance, that ignorance is still, on a subtle level, part of you. That's why the people who have spiritual knowledge and teachers and bodhisattvas, they really want to share that to help people cross the river of ignorance. So let's try this mantra. Tera mangale, mera mangale, sabika mangale. May you be blessed. May I be blessed. May all be blessed. Tera mangale, tera mangale, tera mangale, hoye. Mera mangale, mera mangale, mera mangale, hoye. Sabe kamangale, sabe kamangale, sabe kamangale, hoye. Tera mangale, tera mangale, tera mangale, hoye. Mera mangale, mera mangale, mera mangale, hoye. Sabe kamangale, sabe kamangale, sabe kamangale, hoye. Tera mangale, mera mangale, 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 sabe kamangale, hoye. Tera mangale, tera mangale, tera mangale, hoye. Mera mangale, mera mangale, mera mangale, hoye. Sabe kamangale, sabe kamangale, sabe kamangale,